interesting. Speaking of TV shows in the DC universe, apparently we're getting a V for Vendetta series as well, and I swear we will get to the big ones here in just a moment. But first off, before we get there, V for Vendetta. A V for Vendetta series is officially in development at HBO, with James Gunn and Peter Safran of DC Studios on board as executive producers, according to Variety. Pete Jackson is attached to write the series, not Peter Jackson. We're not talking about the Lord of the Rings guy. It's a different Pete Jackson. He's attached to write the series. Ben Stevenson and Leanne Klein are also executive produced, with Warner Brothers Television behind the project. HBO and DC Studios aren't commenting yet. Jackson's reps didn't respond. If picked up, this would be another major DC live-action project landing at HBO following Peacemaker, Penguin, and the upcoming Lanterns. This one is distinctively different, though, than those three, because it wouldn't be in-universe. It would be standalone, because V for Vendetta does not happen inside of the superhero universe of DC. It happens in its own separate universe. So it wouldn't carry the stigma of whatever the hell happened in season 2 of Peacemaker, but it also wouldn't benefit necessarily from the Penguin either, and hopefully from Lanterns, assuming it's as good as everyone wants us to think it is. So that's interesting. That they're going with, yes, another live-action comic book story, but it's a different kind of live-action comic book story because it's in a separate universe. So that's kind of cool. Likely, V for Vendetta is set outside Gunn's DCU, like we were just talking about, and will be a standalone. It also follows the news of the movie returning to theaters next year for its 20th anniversary. Man, I'm old. V for Vendetta began as a comic serial by Alan Moore and David Lloyd. If you haven't read it, it's great. Better than the movie. First appearing in 1982 in the British anthology Warrior, DC took over the series in 1988. Story is set in dystopian Britain, ruled by fascist Norse Fire Party. A masked anarchist called V leads a rebellion against the regime with the help of Evie Hammond, a young woman he rescues from the secret police. If the series moves forward, it adds to HBO's list of DC content, including Lanterns, starring Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre as Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, respectively, which is the next show coming up in early 2026. Jackson wrote Channel 4's Somewhere Boy, earning a BAFTA nomination for his work. He also wrote Sky Atlantic's upcoming Death of Bunny Monroe, starring Matt Smith. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one. Comic was adapted into a 2005 film starring Hugo Weaving as V and Natalie Portman as Evie. Written by the Wachowskis and directed by James McTeague. Grossed $130 million, became a cult classic, even though they kind of screw up the story. And by kinda, I mean like noticeably. Still good, just not exactly the same story that you get in the comic book. But that has the potential to be pretty awesome, though, right? Because, again, both the comic and the movie adaptation are pretty great.
Thank you very much, nerds, for tuning in. If you want to level up your nerdy, geeky, pop culture knowledge, then don't forget to subscribe and do all of the things. Go check out the main channel, Generally Nerdy, for the larger portion. Again, you get all of the sections into one convenient video over on Generally Nerdy. The name of the show is The Week in Nerddom. Thank you for checking out this clip. We will see you next time. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.